Gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of Masculine Toxicity. Today we're going to talk about hypergamy. And for those of you who don't know what that is, the definition essentially is, well, the way it's used today, let me back up. The context that it's used in today is women always looking for the next monkey branch to climb, so to speak. And what that means is trying to find, even if you're a pretty darn good guy, they want to find a guy who's a little better. And then when they're with that guy, they want to find a guy a little better than that. It's referred to as marrying up or gold digging. It's a term used in social science for the act or practice of a person marrying a spouse of higher caste or social status than themselves. Now, the term doesn't necessarily imply marriage, nor does it need to be restricted to social status, but rather it can be applied to several categories. But when it comes to this, we're going to talk about marrying up. That's the context that we see it today. Give you a classic case would be if you're a woman who went to academia and got your bachelor's degree, then you refuse to marry a man or date a man that doesn't have a bachelor's degree, even though maybe they have a trade or something of that they're very successful in their own right. You're not going to bother with the likes of a schlep like that. And as you move up the chain, master's degree, doctorate, things like that, they wouldn't even look in your direction. And that's why you see so much in celebrity life and in Hollywood, these women that they only fuck other actors or other athletes. They're not going to go with a regular Joe Blow. They're not going to sully their hands with the likes of a regular person. Women can get away with it because of their vaginas. Guys don't really care. Guys aren't hypergamous in a class sense, Maybe they'd want to go from a 45-year-old woman to a 22-year-old woman because, the body's tighter, the skin's not saggy, the puss is tighter, all that kind of stuff. Right? But hypergamy is something that regular Joe Blows, like the majority of people in our society, and certainly anybody listening to this dumb show, need to be cognizant of. It's definitely something we see. So be mindful. It's female nature to want to monkey branch up. Now, one of my favorite stories I've ever read is called The Husband Store. And I think it perfectly sums up female nature. So I'm going to read it to you. Tell me where I'm wrong. The Husband Store. It's a store that sells new husbands. It's just opened in New York City where women may go to choose the husband of their dreams. Among the instructions at the entrance is the description of how the store operates. And it goes like this. You may visit the store only once. There are 6 floors, and the attributes of the men increase as the shopper ascends the flights. There is, however, a catch. You may choose any man from a particular floor, or you may choose to go up a floor, but you cannot, and I repeat, cannot go back down except to exit the building. So, your average woman goes to the husband's store to find the knight in shining armor of her dreams. And on each floor, the door reads, Floor 1. These men have jobs. Floor 2. These men have jobs and love kids. Floor 3. These men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking. Wow, she thinks to herself. But she's compelled to keep going. She goes to the fourth floor, and the sign reads, Floor 4. These men have jobs, they love kids, are drop-dead gorgeous, good-looking, and help with the housework. Oh, mercy me, she exclaimed. I can hardly stand it. Still, she goes to the fifth floor, and the sign reads, These men have jobs, they love kids, are drop-dead gorgeous, help with the housework, and have a strong romantic streak. She's so tempted to stay. But she goes to the 6th floor, and the sign reads, Floor 6. Your visitor 3,261,496,012 to this floor. There are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please. Thank you for shopping at the husband store. Now, in contrast, the wife store opens in floor 1. Guy goes up, the sign reads, Floor 1 has wives that love sex. Floor 2, the sign reads, Floor 2 has wives that love sex and have money. The 3rd through 6th floors have never been visited. Think about that for a second, guys. That's not something you just see in Hollywood or in celebrity life. Might be more public, but it's reality. It's female nature. So as long as you're okay with that, I just want you to understand this is something that every man has to be cognizant of for protection of your own self. Now, when it comes to hypergamy, it doesn't necessarily mean it's just money and status. Now, that's the high majority of it. But generally women want a man who is of higher status in a variety of different categories. It could be something like leadership. It could be a sense of humor, passion or ambition, being well dressed, confidence, things like that. But as we talked about in previous episodes, women are generally status driven. So be mindful of that. So that's hypergamy. I highly recommend you dig into it a little more. We'll talk about it more on the Masculine Toxicity channel. I thank you for checking out this show. Be on the lookout for new episodes dropping soon. Let me know your 2 cents as always. I'm all ears. Thanks, guys.